Let's podcast alongside Joe Giglio. I'm Joe Ovies. We are not inside Eford Studios today. We are still in Charlotte for ACC Kickoff. Today we will be focused primarily on NC State. Quick programming note. We sat down with Commissioner Jim Phillips. We put that out as an OG229. That should be in your podcast feed. It's also on YouTube. What'd you think of our conversation with the commissioner?
Did you put any ads in it?
No, I didn't put any ads in.
Interesting.
It's an OG229.
Did you put Blue Wire ads in it?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I did put Blue Wire ads in.
Otherwise,
And
you're giving me the 20 and I'm giving you the 10.
And I remember the Easter
Automobile Group.
Right,
Oh,
Easter's
you
in
can
there
sell
too.
your car to the Easter
That's right.
Automobile. You
Just
don't
saying.
just buy them.
Just saying.
Get your car fixed there, too.
Oh. And Copiers Plus, of course,
Was there?
because of the presenting sponsor.
Oh, sweet. Okay,
So
perfect.
shout out to Copiers Plus. Check them out online, copiers-plus.com.
No, I feel
We
like
keep our corporate champions happy.
you have to. I feel like Jim is on a little bit of a offensive
Yes.
and trying to be aggressive. Now, he's saying fighting for the league, but I think he's doing better to promote the league.
Mm-hmm.
Thought that was somewhere where he was lacking last year, obviously during the football season. But I also don't think that's his nature.
Yeah.
I think he's more of a behind the scenes, you can't be in this business as long as he's been and go out there fighting on every corner.
Of course not.
You know what I mean? Like,
course
that's not how you get ahead. I would do that, and I would be, fired on a Wednesday in April. That's what happens, right? So it was not in his nature, but I
have
think
to put that on a T-shirt.
got fired on a Wednesday in April.
Fire on a Wednesday in April. That's the antithesis of positive vibes only,
Right.
which is the shirt we gave to Jim Phillips
Right.
because he is eternally positive.
So I don't think it's in his nature, but I do think it kind of struck me. It sounded like maybe there has been some sounding board for him that has suggested to him that it's important for him to promote the league.
Yeah.
And I thought, as we talked to him about it, using those numbers and really just kind of hammering people with facts.
Yeah.
Hey, this is where we are. This is what we're doing. This is how we've grown. This is how the expansion move, which you may not like, helped us.
Yeah.
Those are all good things.
Well, that's why I asked him the question. Now that he's been the commissioner for a few years and you see how these things are going, do you evolve in how you
Sure.
present yourself in the league?
Yeah.
And I think, and it's funny, I've been doing some radio hits. I know you've been doing some radio hits as well. And one of the questions that I'll get is related to how Jim Phillips sounded like show a little fight on Monday. I mean, again, in what his capability is. And I agreed. I'm like, yeah, I think, as to your point, I think they're trying to fight the perception battles with the facts, right? Here are the numbers. Here's the money. Here's what we're doing. Here's the success initiative. Everybody was on board with this. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, just like everybody was on board with that grant of rights twice. So these are all things that I think everybody has an opportunity to grow, and we'll see how this goes. And of course, and this is what I've also been telling people who've been asking this question about the ACC. We can talk up the league all we want. We really can. And you can get frustrated by the but that ends up happening if the league is successful. But you can't not be successful. And that's what this football season is really going to be interesting, both in terms of, Dabo doubling down on his culture. Will it pay off? FSU, to your point, basically utilizing what happened to them last year as a rallying cry for this year. And as we'll talk about with Dave Doeren at NC State, hey, man, 2024 is all things Wolfpack. You got to keep that thing going, right?
Year of the Wolf.
The year of the Wolf. Will it continue for football? The other thing about the ACC, so you don't have to be the SEC. I don't want it to be the SEC. I don't want it to be the Big Ten, which we'll get to a little bit later on in the lightning round. Now, the ACC is supposed to be dumb and quirky as well, which gives us the Pop-Tart
I don't know
Bowl.
if it's dumb. It's quaint. The ACC has always been quaint.
It's been quaint, fine, quaint and quirky.
And parochial.
And you understand when I say dumb, I mean it with affection.
Yeah.
I like dumb. I like
Provincial.
stupid. Right.
Yeah.
So last night we're at ACC Hospitality, and the Pop-Tart Bowl was there representing, hey, we got some fun things and whatnot. And
Pop-Tart Bowl was like, hey, you can combine our sugary sweets with some liquor.
Yes.
Now that's a party starter.
So they had a beer pairing with Pop-Tarts.
Oh, it was just beer?
It was beer.
Oh, I thought there was liquor involved.
No, there was no liquor involved. I think I told you to get the Hot Fly.
Okay.
And that the hot Fly is known for their hazies, sours, and they made a juicy, like slushy sour, man.
Okay.
That went really, I mean, when they say they paired it with one of the strawberry Pop-Tarts, it went really, really well with the Pop-Tart. But as we remember, the Pop-Tart was eaten It was an edible Pop-Tart.
Right.
So they had these little in memoriam cards. In loving memory, frosted strawberry, friend and edible mascot, 12/28/23, 12/28/23. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll put the picture up, but they have a memorial upstairs with candles and everything. And dude, I need to get the Pop-Tart candle. Have you smelled that?
No.
It smells amazing. I want one for the studio because you and I, we don't smell good.
Not always fresh.
Just a couple dudes. We get that Pop-Tart candle in there.
Game changer.
It's gonna smell great,
especially with our new rug.
But this is what I love.
Welcome, Matt. I should say.
But this is college football to me. By the way,
yeah.
Everybody's wrapped up in the college football playoff and how many teams are going to get in, and the Big Ten's really like the NFL. Again, we'll get to that in the lightning round. We were joking with West Durham yesterday. Why not 5 ACC teams? That's the kind of dumb conversation they're having in the SEC. No. Screw that. I want more of this. I want more in loving memory of the Pop-Tart, where on the back of it, it says a note of remembrance. Please join us in taking a moment to celebrate the life of edible mascot Frosted Strawberry. May they be remembered for their love of life, their delicious jammy filling, and their dreams of being eaten coming true. Though they now rest in crumbs, their life's work will continue this year. Watch the Pop-Tarts Bowl on Saturday, December 28th, 2024, 3:30 Eastern Time on ABC.
The person just walked in looks like Aaron Rodgers, by the way.
Holy shit. Yeah, you're right. He's probably wondering, like, why are you staring at me? It's because you look like Aaron Rodgers just coming back from Egypt.
What?
Sir, wait a second. Hold on, look live here. I'm gonna do your camera. Look at that guy.
He's a tank.
Dude, look at that dude. I think, is Aaron Rodgers not here? It looks like Aaron Rodgers. Hey, YouTube folks, YouTube. Let me make sure we're back on the Giglio thing here, which I can correct a little bit later on. Anyway, coming up, we got Dave Doeren here, Grayson McCall, and I mean, I can't think of a more perfect guest to talk about NC State, Tennessee, week 1,
week 2,
week 2, than Ryan McGee, ESPN, Marty McGee, SEC Network, NASCAR, college baseball, all that fun stuff. He's all over the place. He's an awesome dude, and we'll have a fun conversation with him as well. Joining us at ACC Kickoff on the Heister Automotive Group hotline is the head coach at NC State. He is Dave Doeren. Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has been a while. Look, I know you have pressure that you put on yourself, expectations for the program, what you're trying to accomplish. But 2024 has been turning up Wolfpack.
Yeah, I'm excited for our athletic department. And our fans. There's been a lot of patient fans waiting, the successes of all the sports that, the basketball teams. Obviously, this winter was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Coach Keats and Coach Moore, and seeing Coach Avent get back, to the World Series was awesome for him. And so many of the other sports doing well. So, yeah, I'm super proud to be a part of it. Obviously, the fall sports kind of kick the thing off, and then the winter sports take over.
Yeah.
And it's been fun just to watch the whole thing go.
Yeah, because you see it. You see the tournament, you see the Final Four, you see the World Series. You've experienced it. I mean, Bell Tower runs, you got the Red Solo Cup and the cigar and things like that. I guess it just kind of, is it underappreciated, the state fan base, and how they want the success, and when they see it, they will absolutely not take it for granted.
One of the things I love about NC State, you go to a wrestling match, you go, watch the other teams play. It's packed. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's insane. The gymnastics, I've heard, is incredible, when you go watch them. And I haven't been able to do that, but I've been at so many of our other teams' events, and the passion is there for every sport. And that's cool, man, because you don't get that everywhere. Some schools, it's one sport only, and NC State, they back you. And as you said, they're hungry, man. They want to see those championships raised up, and so do we. And so it's great to see them get that.
You had an amazingly eventful season last year.
Yeah.
It was like 3 seasons in one.
Yeah.
You also provided us with a sticker. Just be happy we won. We made that a sticker.
Even though he
I don't have it on
misquoted you.
Can I get one?
Yeah,
We will get you
I will
one.
get you one.
But that was like that seemed like a really long time ago.
Yeah.
And then you have the whole thing with MJ and the quarterback switch and everything else that was going on. Then you have the winning streak where you had Brennan comes back in. You have Peyton give his impassioned plea. You had your thing with Steve Smith and your passionate defense of the program, which I felt like was a year-long thing. But like you had like a whole, and then the thing at the end with Carolina, like you had a whole year, man. Like did you? I know you
Very
always
Jimmy V, live, laugh, all that stuff, right?
I know you always take a step back in January and evaluate everything. Did you like take a step back this year and be like, we just went through, that was like a dog year. Like that
it was a dog
year. It's like
year.
7 years in one, man.
It was. It was a lot. It was. And I felt like we came out of it smelling pretty good, you know, but it was a lot. And we were tested in many ways. And I have several people I confide in, and like some of the conversations that went on through the year, like you'll never believe what's happening right now. And, the response is, well, you got to be kidding me. You know what I mean? Like, you can't make this stuff up, some of the things that happened. And just so proud of the way we came out of it, I mean, what Brennan did coming through, what he went through, seeing how the staff was able to change and evolve throughout the year to get used to what we had on the roster and with the new offensive staff. Yeah, I mean, it's it'll be a good chapter or 5 in a book that one day hopefully I can write.
We haven't had a chance to talk to you about it. Like, you are very passionate about what your program has done, and I think that's what kind of maybe inspired the whole Steve Smith thing because you're on the field in the moment. I know you can get fired up in those things, but like just that whole, like, that seemed like one little episode from the season.
Well, sometimes you got to defend your players and your program, and I think that was taken the wrong way by some people because I do love our basketball programs. Yeah. But, to sit there and say we can't beat Clemson because we're a basketball school on national television didn't sit well. And so I had an opportunity to defend that, and I did. We are not a basketball school. We are not a football school. We're an athletic department that wins championships and wins a lot of games and is in postseason play. And Buch Corrigan's done a great job, building a chemistry with his coaches. And we cheer for each other, man.
Well, I just wanted to personally thank you face-to-face because we're in the content business, and you provided a hell of a lot of content last year. So, no, seriously, thank you.
I'm glad.
We'll get you stickers and more. So let's see how this year's going to turn out. I feel like as the pro football evolves, you get a better sense of what you need to do to build out the roster. So I'm curious how this offseason and how you complemented what you already had in the transfer portal. Is it a year by year, or is it you kind of understand where things are going now that this is the landscape and you have a better system to get ready for it?
We have a great system now. We've really built a pro-style evaluation model, I guess you would say, for a recruiting office, where we have a director of player development. He has assistants, and we have a director of college scouting that handles the portal. We have a GM, and we have a recruiting side. And so that has helped. But it is a year-to-year world now. I think people need to understand that. When you have not just graduation players going pro, but then 2 different windows when they can transfer, you can sit there and pretend that you know what you got coming back on your roster. You don't. And so every day roster management is talked about and what we need, what may change. And we may think we're going to take an older player at this position, and then a freshman becomes the player of the year in the league.
Yeah.
Right? And so now you don't need to take a transfer at that position. And so you just have to be willing to reevaluate. And so our staff understands that. It's a daily thing, roster management.
Is that how you were able to handle the MJ situation the way that you were? Because there might have been people on the outside who would have panicked in that situation. But I thought, honestly, out of everything you've done in now 12 years, I thought that was the best thing you've done PR-wise. Like, you really played that one perfectly.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a tough moment. I was excited for Brennan. You know, I have so much respect for that young man, and when he handed the job back over to him, I was all in on him.
Yep.
You know, I wanted him to do well. I wanted the team to support him, and that was what was cool about it, to be honest, was watching the team just stand up and say, we got you, man. You don't have to do this alone. We got your back. And so, you know, as hard as it was for me, it wasn't that hard in the public light because it wasn't a decision that I made.
Yeah.
It was a decision that family wanted, and I was going to respect their decision and then move forward. And to move forward, it was to go with Brennan.
The only constant there last year was Peyton.
Yeah.
And I keep trying to tell people ask me about you this year, and I said, I think you might be overlooking the fact that one of the best players in school history is not there anymore,
right.
you know? And how do you kind of, obviously you know how to move past that, but how do you kind of teach the whole group and get everybody on board to understand he was an eraser? Like, he was a guy who did a lot.
Yeah, I don't think you ever replace a guy like that. You know, I think the players around him have to improve. And so, you know, the guys that were on the field last year playing with Peyton that are returning, Davin Vans, the Aiden Whites, those guys have to play better than they did last year and will. I mean, that's why you come back.
Yeah.
And then you recruit, you develop, and you add guys to the field that are going to make more plays, you hope, than the last guy that was in that spot. And so that's how you make up for one guy that did so much, because it doesn't matter who we plug in. He's not going to be the same guy, even if he has a great year. Peyton was the best player in college football on defense last year, and we realized that. I also like the fact that our defensive kids are hearing that how are they going to be good without him, right?
Yeah,
and so there's that. Those guys want to play well for each other.
Before we say goodbye, has Casey come up to you? It's been about 2 weeks since that college football video games come out. We're all around the same age. We played those games back in the day. Has he come to you, where Robert and I say, hey, look, I'm just saying in the game, this is money every single time. I score a touchdown every single time with this play. Maybe I'm thinking, has that happened yet?
No,
okay.
It hasn't.
Okay.
I'll be honest, like riding here with Annabelle, she told me, because the players talked to her about all that stuff.
Right.
I learned more in that talk about where the minds are with this game. I don't pay any attention to it, and I won't. I mean, it's not going to win or lose games, so I don't care.
But I am curious, are we going to see a Dave Doeren season where you're, what are we talking, maybe 45, 35 kind of score?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you got some offense this year.
Yeah.
You know?
Are you okay winning?
Are you okay winning that way? I always argue, no, like, you want to win a very particular way when we get it. But I'm like, I see that offense, I'm thinking, I don't know, man. 45?
Well,
track me.
We want to average 31 or more a game on offense, and obviously defensively, we're not giving up 35.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you want the W, and whatever that looks like, I'll be happy with that. But
that works.
No, we're not going to sit back and say that's how the season's going to go.
Dave, we appreciate the time.
All right, thanks, guys. Go Pack.
And that's brought to you by Enovana. Check them out online at ENOVANA.com. Green Cleaning Solutions. Enovana came out to the house this week. Just this week. You can do it every week, every 2 weeks, once a month.
Once a month.
Big cleanings, whatever it might be. They got solutions for you. So hit them up, Enovana.com. We've got OG Summer Jam coming up on Sunday, 1 to 6. I'm going to be crunk up in this, Joe.
You are.
Yes.
You promise.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Not Will Brinson levels holding the mic around.
But Final 8, okay.
Not that. Not Elite 8. Not going to be on that. I'll be buzzing. I'll be chilling. We'll have some hats. We'll have access to hats. Maybe. I mean, the rate you're selling, or I'm sorry.
They're going quick.
The rate.
The access is going quickly.
The access is going quickly. All that stuff going on. We should have stickers. We'll have koozies. I believe there will also be, did I buy keychains? I can't remember. It might be OG keychains for all we know. But the Butcher's Market will be out there. That'll be a lot of fun. Kenneth's going to be out there with the grill. Giglio is not allowed to touch that. Kenneth is only allowed to be grilling up the meats. They got the signature steak tips. You can go to thebutchersmarkets.com, sample it, fall in love with it, and then go. That's what it's all about. We will also have Breeze Through out there with their Oak City Grill food truck and deli. That's really, really delicious.
Sneaky good.
I can't recommend the barbecue fries enough. I think that's back on the menu for this Sunday. So I'm really looking forward to that. So go check them out at breezethrough.com. They're also the presenting sponsor for the podcast festival coming up week 0, August 24th at the Rialto. Go to the Rialto's website, therialto.com. Was hanging out with Felder yesterday, crashed at Felder's last night. My dude, as Hayes pointed out, he's like, I think we've sold 300 tickets because everybody assumes Felder's going to cook for them. No, we cannot guarantee Felder cooking for you.
Yeah.
Although I got to experience Felder's cooking last night. He put bolognese on a pizza.
Ooh.
Dude.
Sounds delicious.
It was fire.
Sounds
very,
amazing.
very good.
Yeah.
So go to therialto.com. Homefield's going to be there with us. Hand of the Dirt's going to have their shirts. We're going to have an official podcast hoodie as well from Homefield. It'll be a lot of fun. And it's all happening thanks to our friends at Breeze Through. So go check them out. Hey, Gold, get out of my shot. Anyway, you didn't hear me. So
he's locked in.
You know how Gold is, man. I know what's happening. He's probably working the phones trying to figure something out. Just don't ask him. Anyway, so go to breezethrough.com and get your bonus on the gas, right?
The 76 app.
Yeah.
Save yourself 5 cents a gallon. Good stuff, man.
That's always good. That is always good. And yes,
or just go to therialto.com and get yourself some tickets because, man, they're moving fast.
Yeah, I'm so obnoxious. So obnoxious about that. Big thanks to Mosquito Authority and Pest Authority, bugsbite.com. Check them out. Bundle and save. Mosquito Authority for the outside of your house.
It's okay. Just keep going. You don't want to do all this editing because you don't have internet. Your internet stinks here. So just rally. Radio Joe, rally. Let's go. You can do it. Bugsbites.com.
Okay. I got a little tongue-tied.
Okay.
So let's keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, so bugsbite.com. Bundle and save. They'll take care of the inside of your house with Pest Authority. And look, man, I've been doing a lot of talking today.
I
the
know.
last 2 days.
Your reps are off, man.
You
can do an hour. You're strong.
Weak.
You're strong for an hour.
I am weak now.
You ain't on that 3-hour shit anymore.
I am not, man. I am not.
Never mind your 4-hour stamina.
Anyway, we appreciate bugsbite.com. Joining us at ACC Kickoff on Radio Row on the Heister Automotive Group hotline is the quarterback at NC State. He is Grayson McCall. What's going on, man? Nice. Thanks for coming by.
Excited to be here, man. Back home. Excited to be back in Charlotte and excited to talk to you guys.
So when you come back to Charlotte, do you get the, hey, remember that time you and Sam Howell went back and forth? That was like the classic. That was cool, man. Like
no doubt.
That seems to be like a Charlotte legend thing, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Played a lot of football against Sam Howell. I mean, starting in middle school, playing basketball against each other growing up, and being able to train with the same guy. Played a lot of football against Drake May too, so a lot of really good quarterbacks in the area. Yeah, it was awesome, man. Played a lot of really good football at Porter Ridge and really enjoyed my time there, and kind of, gave me the opportunity to go play college football.
So you're at NC State now. How'd that conversation go? Like what? I mean, it's not like Dave Doeren, he's a known commodity. You've known what NC State's been able to build. So how those conversations go and what ultimately brought you to the Wolfpack?
Yeah, I think, they were looking for a veteran guy to come in and make a big impact immediately, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. Taking my visit there, I was just blown away. The facilities and the people there are top-notch. And then Coach Doeren, his resume and what he's been able to do for 10+ years now is exciting. He's an unbelievable coach, unbelievable motivator, and really excited to play for him. So many good things going on in Raleigh. It's a good time to be in Raleigh.
I want to get into NC State stuff. I do. You were part of our favorite moment, maybe in college football history, though. You're talking to the quarterback, Coastal Carolina. One of our favorite moments. When you guys were like, you know what? Let's just play BYU. You get these schedules released. NC State's going to play Georgia in 2031.
Yeah.
In the middle of the pandemic, Coastal Carolina was like, and we could swear, they're like, fuck it. Yeah. Let's play BYU next week.
Yeah. I think we were
how cool was that?
I think we were going to try and play him in the Wendy's parking lot one night. But, dude.
How cool was that?
Unbelievable. I just think about walking up to the facility and seeing the college game day podium set up, and it's like, is this real life? Like, what's going on? I think they scheduled the game on like a Wednesday night or Thursday night, so not even like a real full game plan. It's like, hey, let's go see if we're better than them, and let's play our style of football and see if we can win. A really good football team, Zach Wilson and those guys, like a lot of talent. But that 2020 football team we had down in Conway, pretty good. A lot of really good players, and we were hungry. We would play anybody. And, we were going to play them in the Wendy's parking lot, but luckily we got to play on the football field. So
that was old school, man. That was old school. Now, for state stuff in this year, I think the primary question people have, you can run the football, right? And we saw what Brennan Armstrong did last year. We also know that there's not a proven backup behind you. at NC State. So how do you kind of manage doing what you do best, being able to make some plays with your feet, but also understanding that, hey, now, I can't probably take as many chances as maybe I did in 2020 when I'm lighting the world on fire down there in Conway?
Yeah, sure. I think I've kind of transitioned into more of a mobile pocket passer, trying to stay in the pocket and make all the throws when I can, but getting out and extending plays when I have to. But just being available, doing everything I can to put myself in good situations and getting down when I need to. I'm still going to bring that toughness and that, that chip on my shoulder when I carry the football or just on the field in general. But definitely got to do a better job of staying healthy and putting myself in good situations to do that.
There's some old tape of Russell Wilson and NC State probably doing some of that stuff. I'm sure they have it on file somewhere.
No doubt.
You know?
They had to teach him how to slide because he kept getting popped because he's like, no, I want to keep running. They're like, hey, no.
Yeah. Slide now.
We need you healthy. We need you to stay upright. So, how has it been picking up Robert and I's system? We knew the last guy, Brennan, played for him at Virginia, so a little bit of a built advantage. You actually played for 2 state guys last year.
Yep.
In Tim Beck and Chris Proctor.
Yes, sir. No, it's been awesome. On my visit, I was able to sit down with those guys and just kind of dive into the tape and what they do offensively and then how they would implement my game into what they do. And it's awesome, man. We do so many unique things on offense with shifts and motions, and we have the guys to be able to do it. So really excited to play in that system. I think it's a great fit, and I think it's an offense I'm going to thrive in.
I can't let you go without one ACC fantasy football question. Who's your favorite receiver? Who do you like?
Joe wants to know.
Is it the tight end? Is it KC?
We got some good options, man.
You really do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the sleeper pick, and I'm gonna say Noah Rogers. Noah Rogers.
Okay. Well, I mean, in the spring game, nobody was really sleeping on, even though it was during the Final Four.
Maybe that's not a sleeper pick, but I don't think you can go wrong with any of those guys.
He's a baller, is what you're saying.
No doubt.
All right, you got it.
Grace, we appreciate the time, man.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Go Pack.
We're making a lightning round happen because we've heard from our listeners that the song has been stuck in their head. The Bruce version has been stuck in their head. So we're going to give the people what they want. We're going to give them the Bruce version. As I was looking around Radio Row, you know who I miss? I miss our friends Chip Patterson.
Yeah.
Danny Cannell, Bud Elliott, the crew at Cover 3. They're not here. They're actually at the Big Ten Media Day.
Well, CBS is the home of the Big Ten.
Totally understand. And this is the time of the year where I'm reminded, Matt Rhule, our friend, is at Nebraska, which means the Matt Rhule press conference audio is about to get real. And he delivered this gem at Big Ten Media Day.
4 teams from this league should get in every year because this is the best league. This is the NFL of college football in my mind. It stretches from coast to coast, different time zones, different weather. That's not to diminish any other league. The SEC is amazing. These other leagues are great, but the challenge in the Big Ten is going to be really difficult. Travel, weather, and great teams. I think 4 teams from this league should get in every year because this is the best league. This is the NFL of college football in my mind. It stretches from coast to coast, different time zones, different weather. That's not to diminish any other league. The SEC is amazing.
Okay, it's just looping now.
My favorite part is not this is the NFL of college football. No, the NFL is the NFL of the NFL.
Yeah.
And
ask Urban Meyer.
Yes.
Ask Urban Meyer.
But no,
how that worked out for him.
He mentioned the weather twice.
Yes.
He was so excited about the weather.
Hey, man, it's cold. Weather sucks in this league, man. As if these college football playoff games don't get played in domes, but that's not the point. That's not the point. The weather, man. The weather's awesome. See, here's the problem. Here's the problem. Here's the problem.
Such a fucking noob.
it's the problem with the whole, the ACC really needs somebody. Like, the problem with us is that we don't put up with shit like that.
Right.
Like, can you imagine a coach here saying, 4? I mean, look, we're trying to promote the league, but the minute somebody crosses that line, I'm like, 4 teams from the ACC. We're all gonna be like, hey, simmer down,
Let's
man.
just slow down.
Slow down. Like 2, yes. 3, that depends on how the year plays out. 4 every year.
Every year.
Without
This
question.
is the NFL of college football.
God, it's like they're speed running the NCAA tournament and basketball coaches with the expansion of the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
They're speed running it. We haven't even had a 12-game playoff yet, and we're already like, we need 4.
Yeah. Every year
we need 4.
No doubt.
The SEC's like, we need 5.
Yeah.
I mean,
I got really bad news for you, Matt.
You ain't making it.
They can put 4 teams in every
You're still-
year.
yeah, no, you're still not
Nebraska
making it.
will never be one of them.
no, you're still not.
Even with your bullshit year 2 Matt Rhule bounce back.
It's a lightning round. It's the lightning round.
So training camp, NFL training camps opened up. We've got super positive Dave Canales. Speaking of positive vibes only, I mean, Dave Canales is locked in on the positivity. And I had done a radio hit with WFNZ's Walker Mill earlier today. And I asked him, I'm like, that dude's like you're here all the time. So that dude's like legitimately super positive. He's like, yeah, and it's going to be really strange when Panthers fans get mad at me for trying to look at the positive of the Carolina Panthers, when Dave Canales is constantly going to be looking at the positive of the Carolina Panthers.
And if you were that skinny and that good looking, you would be positive all the time too.
I mean, true, but I don't know about that. I'd still find something to be jaded about. This will be the true test of his positivity, though, because as we understand, David Tepper turns things into crap. You know, at some point, he's like, "Oh no, I'm good. I've learned my lesson. I'm learning how to be. I'm not going to do anything. Signing autographs."
I was just say somebody tagged us in him signing autographs.
Yeah. So
what could you possibly do with David Tepper's autograph?
This is from Mike Hauser. David Tepper on his public relations tour, training camp this morning, signing autographs. And there he is signing a football. I'd love to know who really wanted a David Tepper signed football. Look, I'm just impressed he didn't take that Sharpie and then throw it back at the person.
Progress.
That's baby steps.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to know, is that a hat that he purchased himself or was given to him, or did he take it off somebody else's head and then put it on and then started walking around? Right. I don't know. And when he signed the football, did he said, "You're welcome for the music"? Did he put that on there? You're welcome.
We did it.
We did it. We
Mission
brought
accomplished.
We brought
we
you
invented
music.
Soccer, and we invented music.
But that's part of the problem. The part of the problem when talking about the Carolina Panthers, you can try to look at things positively. I mean, we talked to Bill O'Brien about that.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, don't count out on
It's
Bryce
got faith.
Young. And you know what? Maybe you don't count out on Bryce Young. But I can count out the way David Tepper has gone about his business. So just something to keep an eye on.
We'll see how he does this year. I thought they were going to be better than they were last year. I'll be the first one to admit that.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Canales' track record with quarterbacks, somewhat smaller quarterbacks as well, might have been a smart hire. Now, as long as Tepper stays out of his way, lets him do his thing, I could see them winning 6-7 games.
And finally, on the lightning round, I don't know how your social media looks, Joe, with NFL training camps being open, but
my favorite.
Have you taken in any Patrick Mahomes, Xavier Worthy highlights?
I have not, because I'm still worried about the Chiefs in those back-to-back Super Bowls. Just wondering how they could ever exist without Tyreek Hill. How are they going to do it?
This is going to be the way training camp is going to work around for the Chiefs. It's going to be, man, look at that. The rich just getting richer. They never have to suffer. They're just going to get better. The other thing, too, is that we are going to be getting the Panthers like, this guy's going to be a problem. You know you love that.
Yes, my favorite.
Are we going to have to
puffy face
when we get back from
Flex.
Charlotte? We get back into the normal cadence of shows. Do you want to do a new segment? Can we have a meeting here?
Yep, meeting.
We're having a meeting. All attention. Do you want to do this guy's going to be a problem of the day?
Yeah, or the training camp cliche of the day.
Maybe we could get Brian over at Nice Price to give us another song for that.
The defense had 2 interceptions. Canales was happy, but then he realized it was also his defense.
Like, oh man, that's
because we're going to get into we're just ready to hit other guys.
Oh yeah, there's that.
A couple early of those fights. Well, our guys are just eager to hit somebody else.
That's what it is, and then we're going to get to that, and they're going to do the joint practices, and we're going to call this. We got to call it off.
It's getting too aggressive.
These guys are just ready for games, man. They're just ready for games. Big thanks to Longleaf Swine for sponsoring Ovies and Giglio. Check them out, longleafswine.com. My kids are obsessed with the hamburger. Their smash burger
For a
is
reason.
fantastic. I keep saying it's the best burger in town, but don't let that distract you. Don't let my obsession with the smash burger and the variants on their smash burger distract you from their barbecue, their brisket. Their sides are amazing, and you can order it online right now at longleafswine.com.
Always parking on Edenton, man. Go check them out.
And when you're done with a wonderful meal at Longleaf, you can head on over to Two Roosters, my home base over on Person Street. They got locations all over the Triangle, Lake Boone, the factory out in Wake Forest. Yesterday, you brought the Two Roosters out. People were in love with it. Coaches were.
Yeah, Jared's like, what was it? How was your day? That's how I make friends now. He goes, it's the only way I can make friends now when you give away free ice cream. I said,
look, man, being an adult and making new friends as an adult is hard. Ice cream can help.
He said, did you make some new friends being ice cream Santa yesterday?
We did.
I told him he might need to look into something in Winston-Salem because Dave Clausen is definitely ready to invest.
He was all in. Clausen was all in on
We
it.
have an initial investor for you, so you got it.
Perfect. So again, big thanks to Two Roosters. Check them out online, tworoosters.com. Also want to thank Hometown Realty. You can check them out online, myhtr.com. With Hometown Realty, you can look across. You can talk about Winston-Salem. You can talk about Charlotte. You can talk about the Triangle. A lot of new construction going on. Buy, sell with confidence. Buy with confidence, understanding the ins and outs of new builders, incentives, etc. And MyHTR can help you out. And of course, when you close that house, you can take it on over to Whitaker and Hamer. When you're driving back from Charlotte, and fingers crossed, you don't have any traffic violations. If you do, you know who you can contact: Whitaker and Hamers.
Did okay getting here. We'll see what we can do tonight.
So go check them out. WH.lawyer. Again, that's WH.lawyer. Joining us at ACC Kickoff, Ryan McGee, ESPN, Marty and McGee, SEC Network. You're all over the place, man. NASCAR, Never Tell Me the Odds, the podcast, which I promised, Joe, we're not going to talk about.
Star Wars ESPN's official Star Wars podcast.
Love it.
Yeah, for Joe's sake.
College World Series.
I appreciate that.
College World Series.
I'll say this about, Never Tell Me the Odds. We're doing a special edition of the show for the Ocho, for ESPN 8, which is, I think, actually like the 4th or 5th of August. But it's about sports and Star Wars, so you'll enjoy that.
Yes, absolutely. I actually don't mind any Han Solo and or actual Star Wars related content or conversations.
Yeah, old school. Yeah.
I struggle when he gets into Grogu and Acolytes and even the pensive Andor,
novels from the 90s.
Andor, whichever one it is.
Yeah, I got you.
Like the
And we haven't even gotten into the
plotting,
comics.
moving.
You sound like my wife.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll talk about Han Solo and Princess Leia all day. She said, when you start talking about the Clone Wars, she goes, I'm just like,
I even love.
I'm like, it's romance, baby.
I even love the awful stilted acting of Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I am here for.
Do it.
You
Come on, do it.
underestimate my power. You have to sing it. You have to sing it.
I hate saying.
See, we've already talked about it more than I thought. I love that shirt, by the way.
Thank you. Rowback. Get yourself.
It makes me think of Gaffney.
Get yourself your own rowback. They have a Tennessee themed orange, big orange vols with the outline of the state of Tennessee.
Okay.
Rowback. That's RHO back.
Yeah.
OG20 is that promo code. Save yourself some money.
There you go. I'm serious. I'm going to do that.
What are you?
I'll show you.
We were talking about this before we got going here, but
my sponsors.
This is the Raleigh guy.
Yeah.
What are you going to do
with
man?
Tennessee? Where you
grew up a State fan?
Yeah, it's weird, and because this happened. So I'll tell you guys, 2 times this happened. And the first was we were talking about this before we started talking officially on the microphone. I was in Atlanta, and they used to do these doubleheader Chick-fil-A kickoff weekends. And it was like 1 week. Like I'm covering in the race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. I'd be at the racetrack all day, and I would haul butt up to the Georgia Dome. And it was like Auburn and Clemson.
Yep.
And then it was NC State, and it was weird. But the weirdest for me was when I was a student, and I'm dating myself, but when Corciani broke the assist record, he did it at Thompson Bowling. And so NC State rolled in. You got to remember now, I'm only a few years removed at this point from living in Raleigh.
Sure.
And I think I was maybe a freshman. And NC State and Les came. Oh, see, that's very nice.
See,
they came rolling into town, And so what I did at that game, I'm being serious. What I did at that game was I had on, because we did not miss a Tennessee home game. This is Allen Houston. This team would win 9 games a year, and Houston would be a first-team All-American. But they rolled into town, and we knew Court John was going to set the record. He only needed a handful.
Right.
And I had seen Rodney Monroe play in high school, still the best shooter I've ever seen. It's not even close. When he came in for the Raleigh Times Invitational, wore Enlow out.
Now he's really dating himself.
No. I am. But people don't realize how old I am. But that's how old I am. I was 4. No, but I remember that game. I wore an NC State T-shirt underneath my Tennessee sweatshirt to Thompson Bowling that night because I could not support Fire and Ice.
Yeah, man.
Even though it was in my the but I always say, and you guys know this, I went to Tennessee. Tennessee people hate this. I went to Tennessee because it reminded me so much of State. It's a downtown school. It's an ag school. It's a textile school. It's an engineering program. And so at that point, I was living in South Carolina. State of North Carolina closed the borders. They weren't letting any out-of-state students in. So that's how I ended up at Tennessee.
That's also why Tennessee would be a perfect fit for the irate Giglio conference.
100%.
I mean,
yeah, come on.
Let's do it.
Yeah, West Virginia.
Yeah,
West
Virginia, State's in there.
Florida State.
Oh, yeah.
They're not happy.
No,
ECU, App State.
Well, that's what I used to always say. Because of the College World Series you mentioned, I've become really good friends with a lot of the sports talk guys in Omaha. And we always talk about, for years, Nebraska, Tennessee, Florida State, and Michigan. I'd say that we should all just have a convention where we can all talk about how great the 90s were.
Yeah.
And then Florida State and Tennessee to some degree, and Michigan had the audacity to get Nebraska's still sitting out there.
Yeah.
They're still they're getting there.
Year 2 Matt Rhule. Don't worry.
Oh yeah.
We'll
Don't
see
worry
about that. We'll see about that. It's interesting. I was talking to David Teal earlier.
The man.
And Teal was like, I think Giglio needs to talk me off the NC State thing. Because, NC State, the people, I think they like Dave Doeren, what he's built, the additions through the transfer portal, XYZ. But, man, it's been the year of NC State.
Yeah, there's no reason not to believe
Final Four, College World Series.
Yeah, all they've done for the last 12 years is undo a lot of the pain in the past.
Yeah.
And I understand that I was in Omaha. I understand that State didn't exactly undo 3 years ago, but they were there.
They were there, man.
And they quietly left as opposed to trying to burn the city down on the way out. And so, I was there. So, and I wrote a story, as you guys know. I came up to Raleigh and wrote a story about the men's Final Four, and feels like 24 as opposed to. But I wrote about my experience in '83, and so it just all they've done for the last 12 months, including last fall in football, all they've done is kind of say, all right, maybe this isn't what you're used to. But that being said, going back to the pain, you don't just get over that. So we're all gonna not believe it until they win 10 games.
Well, what's interesting to me though is that you have the year of the Wolfpack, as we've been jokingly.
You don't even know like my own vernacular.
I listen.
It's the year of the wolf.
Yeah, the year of the wolf. I listen.
Year of the wolf.
I do. I listen.
Not you, him.
I eat ice cream.
He doesn't listen.
Yeah.
I don't even know my own vernacular. Like, what are you talking about, man? It's a day-to-day business. It's a day-to-day thing on this podcast. Anyway, the thing that seems to be at odds is that you can feel good about the Wolfpack this year, but I also know triangle football history.
Yeah.
And every time there's a triangle football team that seems like they're on the cusp, there's an SEC team that says, no, not yet.
Usually in Charlotte.
Usually in Charlotte. Right?
Yep.
And, of course, you bring up that David Amerson game.
Yeah.
When the State fans who weren't at the beach enjoying their Labor Day weekend saw a brutal showing, right?
Yeah, it was awful.
So that's where the pain starts to come in, because we've seen this movie before. I'm curious to see if it's going to be different.
Well, and until – I always say it, until you prove to me, it's Ric Flair, right? I'm the man. Until you beat the man, you're not the man. And so until you prove to me you can do it. And there is a literal psychological barrier there. There is. And it crosses over generations. I don't care if the kids are 19 and they don't remember this or don't remember that. History tells you, and it's not just NC State, it's a lot of the people. Again, you're talking to Tennessee alum. It is. Being a Tennessee, a pain-riddled Tennessee graduate, I trained for that my whole life as a State fan, right? And so, but the reality is the numbers are the numbers, and it's you've not won a conference championship since this, and you've not had the leading rusher since that, and you've not won a significant out-of-conference game since so-and-so. I remember going back to at Pinehurst at this deal. Yep. And this was the year that we thought the Big East was going to completely burn the ACC, take everybody, and it was it. I remember Carlton Tudor started a press conference, and John Swafford said, listen, all you have to do is, if we win our games, week 1, and we win our cross-conference games, he goes, and maybe win a couple of bowl games, he goes, it's really 3 weekends, and the perception changed. And that year was the year that Florida State played Auburn for a national championship, and it changed everything. And so, by the way, the conference will drive. So it doesn't take a lot, but until you do it, I'm not going to believe you're going to do it.
2011. I thought you were going further back than that.
No, it was 2011, right? Yeah, no.
But here's the list of the years and the locations.
Oh, wow. I need this. Yeah. They didn't give me that when I came in. They're like, why the hell is the SEC guy here? We're not giving him any paper.
I was going to say, are you contributing to the narrative that at your with your employer that the ACC is inferior to the SEC? Do you buy into this idea that the ACC needs an advocate, media advocate? I did
McAfee's show on Monday, right around the time that became the conversation here.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying this because I'm sitting with you guys, but I said this to him, and I've said it to several other people this week. So Paul Feinbaum was Paul Feinbaum, not because of the SEC network, which is a decade old, but Paul Feinbaum had people in Birmingham, Alabama, that gave him a microphone, even when he made Bear Bryant Jr. mad, and even when he made Pat Dye mad, and even when it was very uncomfortable for the salespeople. And if I'm saying this sitting 2 seats over from David Glenn and sitting with you guys, if somebody had the cojones to give the people that deserve the microphone, I'm pointing at both of y'all right now, that like they were willing to give Paul a microphone in the 80s and the 90s and in the 2000s, then the voices are here.
They don't want it.
The voices are here. They don't want it.
They don't want
it. They don't
I've been trying to make that argument for years.
We're living in a world where newspapers think they're better off without Ed Harden. Right.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to hear it. The voices are on Tobacco Road. The voices have always been on Tobacco Road. But if you don't want the voices to talk, then you'll find a way not to do it. But I'm literally looking at the two of y'all when I'm saying this because you're the two I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. And the reality is that Paul is Paul, and he'll be the first one to tell you this because people were willing to give him the platform when there were a lot of people that did not want him to have that platform because they realized they were better off and a hell of a lot more interesting with him on the payroll than not. And so
it's interesting you bring that up because Dimitri had filled in. Dimitri, now I can't talk. I don't even know our people's names.
Yeah.
Dimitri Ravanos.
Yeah.
He was at Alabama when Feinbaum was on the radio.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's not the reason why Mark Godfrey necessarily got fired, but they threw a party on the radio
100%.
like that would never fly.
Right.
That would never fly.
Right. And it's just, but and then we had our own Mark Godfrey experience. But my point is, the voices are there.
They're there.
And I'm sitting there talking to two of them. The voices are there.
I appreciate that.
But they have to be given the platform to do it. And everybody acting like Paul's suddenly turned into this thing in the last. No. Paul, the SEC network has existed for 10 years, and I'm very fortunate to be a part of it. It's not. It is a part of the pie chart of my job. It ain't the biggest part of the pie chart of my job. But Paul has been given this platform, and if the right voices, and they're here, if the right voices are given the juice that they need and the support that they need and the financial backing they need and the platform that they need, then it just drives me crazy.
Oh no, trust me, it's been driving me nuts.
And I was watching it from afar as in 15 minutes from here where I live. I was watching it from afar, but that was literally but that debate that goes on, it's just the voices are there, the opinions are there. You got to let them be the voices and the opinions. And thankfully for Paul, there were people in Birmingham that were willing to barricade the door and let him keep talking.
And there's that relationship. So again, we'll close on this. There's a difference between the SEC media days and the ACC media days.
Right.
When I first started doing this, and I would see more of the national guys come through, they always enjoyed coming to the ACC media days because it was much more relaxed.
Yeah.
You had access to the coaches, things like that. But I'm watching this, and Nick Saban and Paul Feinbaum are joking at each other's expense. He's
weird,
like,
by the
I
way.
miss you.
So weird when you go into a production meeting and Nate Saban's sitting there.
And he's there?
Yeah. Just sitting there drinking coffee. Hey, man. I'm like, hey, man. I've been trying to book interviews with your ass for 15 years. I'm sorry, I said a bad word, but it's like, and he's just sitting
say whatever
there.
you want.
And he's just sitting there. He's like, hey man, how you doing? How's the family? I'm like, family's great. Who are you?
Yeah,
it was awesome, and he was really good.
Pops, he knows.
But
Pops,
the point is that. The point is that yes, it was always a very different vibe. It's because they have very different personalities as conferences. I don't want that to change. Yeah. I do not want this to feel like that.
Not.
And I'm so excited to be here because talking about John Swafford, when he had a year to go, Ryan, what I need to do different. I go, you need to not schedule this against SEC because you're forcing us all to make a choice, our employer to make a choice. The reality is,
they're going to choose you.
I love being here, but in the years when I could go to both, I always go to both.
I'd love to talk to you more. I'd love to continue this conversation.
Yeah.
But even though we are a podcast, I've been given a hard network out for Josh Graham. Because apparently,
right. By the way, it was by Josh.
Josh is the one.
hard out.
He gave me the hard. We don't have hard outs on this, but I was given a hard out because you need to talk to him in exactly 15 seconds.
All right, so you guys call me anytime.
Yeah, man.
I'm serious. And it's
definitely the week of Tennessee.
Yeah.
So, I think people. I know you have to go, but part of. I think
he doesn't have to, but Josh
one thing people are a little bit like Florida State.
Yeah.
Like people are like kind of sleeping on Tennessee.
100%.
Because I thought last year they were going to be really good. I thought they were going to be a playoff team. It didn't work out that way.
Yep.
I love their coach. I think they have a lot of talent. I think this is part of why I'm slightly down on State because I do think they're going to lose that game.
Yeah.
And Joe keeps reminding me Dave does really well after a loss and after people then start doubting him.
Well, he likes
so it could work out that way.
No, it's we call it the Seabiscuit rule. When you got someone, when you're angry and you got something to chase, you're better than when you're running up front.
He wants the whole ACC network to pick against NC State, so then he has the cigar and the Red Solo Cup ready to go.
Oh yeah.
Those things are ready to go.
Yeah.
All right, I think Josh is coming back. Is the bump playing, Josh? Is it ready? Are you live?
I'm a leave it.
You go. All right, we're going to send you over to Josh.
He gets that look, doesn't he, when we're talking about
so
it?
excited.
Like, all right, hey, you guys call me anytime.
No, we'll hit you up, man.
Right.
Thanks. Let's take a break. Let's take a hockey break. Brought to you by Happy and Hale. We got him, Joe. We got him from Kelson on Twitter. Tried Happy and Hale Burger Bowl today for lunch.
Oh, it's out.
It's legit. Ovies and Giglio got me again. That's what we do, folks. We do not miss on the food, folks.
I was wondering if it was going to be August, but no, I like that it's out already.
I thought it was already out.
Their first foray into a burger. I like it.
The Burger Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this. I'm going to have to check this out. So Kelson's already had it. He's hooked. You can do the same. So check out Happy and Hale. Download the app. They've got some goodies that go along with the app around your birthday, etc. And they're always coming out with new inventive ways to serve up some really, really good food. And given my eating schedule, Solarte in the house, and OG, he's going by. Anyway, as I got a little distracted there.
You said goodies, and our friends from Happy and Hale are known for that. You should get the app and all those good things. I was yesterday days old, though. The first time I ever heard the unedited version of Freak a Leak. I was not quite ready for that.
Were your ears a little thrown off?
I was driving down.
No.
You want one where?
Oh.
And you want it where?
What?
I'm sorry.
So you want an Almond Brothers right now?
Yeah, I need it.
And you want it where? In North Hills? Oh, okay.
I can do that.
You'd like a burger bowl? in North Raleigh? We can make that happen too.
I wasn't even drinking any coffee and I spit it out. I was like, whoa, Petey. I'm not sure our corporate champions understand when they wrap your arms around you.
Controversial take. Freak a Leak, better than Raise Up.
Better than Raise Up?
Better than Raise Up. I like Freak a Leak is better than Raise Up.
Come on.
I think so.
Wow.
I think so.
I mean, it's
now when the goal horn sounds and everybody's hype, I mean, nothing hits like that. Although,
do you want it in the Bible or do you want it top shelf?
At this point, Rod would take it any way possible to overcome some goaltending. Just saying. So check out Happy and Hale. Download the app today. Also, big thanks to Rhoback. Joe's been the Rhoback Stay Ready All-Star throughout kickoff.
Yep.
You've been getting a lot of compliments on your Rhoback gear.
I have, and people I get a lot of, hey man, keep the promo code coming. And I said, yep, OG20, use that promo code, get yourself 20% off. They have the best golf stuff, the shirts, the pants yesterday, new addition to the rotation. Very excited about those. And of course, the hoodies.
You know what I need? I need to chill the hell out. I think today shows you that I'm not used to this.
Yeah.
I'm a little too ramped up. I got a little hyper. I talk a little too fast.
Just got to bring it down.
I could have used some Nature's Relief before today's podcast recording.
There you go.
Nature's Relief Hempstore.com, RELEAF Hempstore.com. Again, as I mentioned, If you're looking to shave off a little anxiety, they can talk you through that. I know for me, it was about getting deeper, better sleep. That's been productive with a variety of gummies, by the way. They have stuff that has Delta 8. They have stuff that's just straight varieties of CBD, all things that are designed to help you sleep. And they also have fun stuff, too. We've talked about the colas. We've talked about the nowadays, the THC shot, essentially a liquor alternative. They have all sorts of – you would be shocked how many different ways they can make this stuff work. It's really interesting, and it's been fun to kind of check out what does what and what helps me out and everything else. And Nature's Relief Hemp Store can get that journey going. So check them out, naturesreliefhempstore.com, RELEAF hempstore.com. Now, one thing we did not do in our conversation with Jim Phillips, a reminder, I broke that off on its own thing, an OG229. That should be in your podcast feed. It's on YouTube as well. Check it out. Well worth your 15 minutes of time. Matt Davis can save you a lot of time searching like, oh, what's the best to extra? No, just call Matt Davis.
Fact check you.
That's what it's all about. You looking at numbers.
Yep.
Matt Davis can help you out. So insuregarner.com, theoginsurance.com, or call him directly at 919-779-8277. We did not broker a deal between Jim Phillips and Matt Davis to make it the Matt Davis conference
because he already has the Big 12.
That's true. But hey, you know what? You can counteroffer.
Yeah.
You can always counteroffer.
Can.
But for now, it is the big.
Save yourself some money. Give Matt a call. Figure out what your insurance needs are.
So give him a call right now. 919-779-8277. Let's get out of here on some Hey Joe questions. A lot of stuff was in reaction to Bill O'Brien and the death rules. It might have been your journalistic achievement.
I have never been so excited to ask somebody a question in my life. And I just kind of assumed that everyone understood that Bill O'Brien worked for both Nick Saban and Bill Belichick.
I see.
So
not everybody knew that.
And the pièce de resistance was me working in the Tom Brady shot in there at Belichick. Like that was
yes.
Sometimes you got to go hard in the paint. I surprised myself even sometimes.
You know the thing that I took away from the Bill O'Brien, easily my favorite coach interview of yesterday.
Yeah.
I did not realize Bill O'Brien laughed like that. Like he's like a giddy laugh. I did not realize he laughed like that. Typically I'm watching Bill O'Brien like
super serious.
You know, the Texan fans. We're not very good right now. We're going through it at Penn State right now, right? So when he was like giddy laugh, it was infectious. I'm like, wait a minute. Well, there's something new about Bill O'Brien.
An accomplishment into itself. Yeah,
it kind of is.
It was good.
Although going back and watching that interview, he did try to weasel his way out.
He did. You saved it by.
Because he was like, are we talking pro or college? Because he's like, well, there's two totally different things. Like, no. We're talking just straight football, baby. That's what it's all about.
Thanksgiving Day. Yep.
That's what it's all about. We also got a question from Bennett as we talked to Dave Doeren earlier on the podcast. Hey, Joe, when you talked to Doeren today, can you get him to just confirm or deny that he went on a guided fishing trip with the Chilota Lodge in Blowing Rock this spring? Just want to know if the kid working there lied to me or not. So I asked him.
Yes.
Did you go? He's like, yeah, I was there. I explained that to Bennett. Bennett responded, and you say you couldn't be the ACC Feinbaum? Look at the scoops. Look at these scoops. Yeah, I don't know if it's a scoop, but just out there for the listeners.
Breaking news. You want to break news on the OG?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
No, I don't.
Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for today's show. We'll have one more show that'll come out tomorrow. That's going to be focused on North Carolina. Mac Brown, Power Eccles, Michael Felder. We'll try to get to the bottom of what's up with UNC's defense exactly. And Felder will probably go full Felder on it.
Yes. Yes.
So be on the lookout for that tomorrow, and then enjoy your weekend.